Well, let's get into kind of your creative process, maybe some of the inspiration, some things that you do. Like what's your process like when you're working with an artist? So somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, dude, let's do this song." What's that process like?
Yeah. So for me, I've always found that the conversation at the beginning, a really lengthy conversation at the beginning, is always like, it's gotten to the point where I can't do a song without it now.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally like I will sit down and be like, okay, tell me about, basically what we're doing here is I'll sit down with them and be like, tell me about you. Like not even just your story as a musician, but like, where did you grow up? You know, what was your childhood like? What got you into music? What were the artists that got you into music? All the stuff leading up to, okay, we'll have like a 30-40 minute conversation. Then we'll start talking about the actual song. Just because I've found that level of somebody who's willing to commit to that kind of conversation or relationship, I find that the artists are a lot more trusting when you do that, when you are the one who said, hey, I'm going to take initiative in this relationship and just fully be interested in you and you talk about yourself. They tend to open up a lot more. But also, I feel like I've gotten a feel for how like people's backgrounds can inform almost like everything about what they say they want as an artist. So like, for example, if I say I'm working with a pop artist, if I know that they got into music because they were listening to Boys to Men when they were a kid, I'm going to approach a catchy pop record different. That other than some artist who's like, I got into music through grunge and listening to Nirvana.
It makes total sense.
Because like what they define as catchy is going to be completely different and subjective. You know, to a Nirvana fan, Come As You Are, that's catchy. Like that guitar riff.
Exactly.
But and so it becomes more of a I feel like the most useful thing that you can learn with production, but even just creativity in general, is communication.
That's huge.
Like being able to like understand the context in which you're talking to the people that are in that context, and just trying to understand like, okay, you come from a jazz background, so for you a breakdown is going to be where the song like slows down, loses tempo, and it feels like everything is falling apart. Or, oh, you came from a metal background, that means you want aggressive halftime.
Give me that halftime, right? Yeah, dude, I love that, because what it does is it puts the relationship back into the art, right? I think nowadays it's easy to you know, if you're an artist, you can download a track on BeatStars or something and write to it and release it, and there's no, and not that that's bad, but there are some missing elements of it. And what you're describing here is reintroducing that relationship, right? And pulling those pieces from the background. I love what you're saying. Like, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, if you have a jazz background, that breakdown means something different than you over here. And when you can do that as a producer, the artist, man, that's just going to bring them to life, right? That's going to open them up and allow them to be creative. And so, man, that's a really cool process. So it starts in with the conversation. Where do you go right into production? Do you sit like what does that look like moving forward?
So I will normally have them. So we'll start with that conversation, and then we'll jump into the song, and I'll try to do almost the same thing with the song. It'll be like, okay, like as many details as I can get, like literally, where were you when you started writing this? What mental imagery did you have in your head? Was there any musical inspirations that were like informing those decisions? And again, it goes to like, the more I know where they're at, the more I can
for sure
help them in that way. Cause I learned how to do that the hard way because I have a buddy that I work with who I have he's one of the artists that I'm just working with all the time right now. His name's Martin Novales, and he has a lot of cool stuff coming out right now. But one of the first songs I ever did with him when we were still kind of like building our like artist producer relationship, he had this song and we were working on it, and there was I could feel it. We could both feel it. There was like some miscommunication between like what he wanted and what I wanted. And I just felt like I wasn't hitting it on the nose with what he wanted to get.
Yeah.
And finally, and he gave me the best revision notes I've ever heard in my life. And I quote this to everybody all the time now. He's like, the song is too orange. It needs to be more blue.
Oh my. And
that is like my favorite revision note I've ever gotten because I instantly understood what he was talking about. Because
what does that mean to you when he said that?
Well, to me, and he explained a little bit more of like the context of like I was trying to make it like this fun like Jay Dilla like, and I was trying to do that, and his perspective was the song was he had just gone through this really tough emotional thing. And it was like he wrote this song being alone in an apartment by himself, packing up some boxes. And so it was like a really deep emotional song for him. And I'm trying to make it like a fun jazzy thing. It didn't work. But like, and the funny thing is from like a production standpoint, I think it literally translated to like, oh, let me turn the reverb on the Rhodes up a little bit more and like low pass the drums a bit.
Right.
It was like stupid simple, but it went from, it's just not hitting to, yes, that's exactly what I'm looking for.